journey is a little odd to me. Meaning, how do you go from a rapper to someone that has a business empire? Is this planned? Does it happen by chance?
Well, I mean, I think that first of all, even before I was a rapper, I was an entrepreneur. So I had an entrepreneurial spirit. And that entrepreneurial spirit doesn't live and die in physical performances. So, you know, I've been investing in myself and finding ways to diversify my portfolio since far before people even knew who T.I. was. You know, I've been purchasing properties, building houses, redeveloping the community for years now. And, you know, and I feel like as a musician, of course music is still my passion. I just don't think it's my only purpose. You know what I mean? I think a lot of gifts, skills, talents, and abilities are left on the table if I'm only doing music. There's so much more I have to contribute to the culture, the generation, and the community. So that's why we're here today.
Yeah, but so a lot of the successful entrepreneurs that I know, or athletes, or Georgia Tech's campus scientists, right, they are single-mindedly, relentlessly focused on their thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder, is it the same thing that makes you a successful rapper that also makes you an effective entrepreneur? Or?
No, I think it's two different applications of skill, you know. But I think the one thing that both of them have in common is diversity. You know, I have an ability to like recognize potential in something that others may walk past continuously without really seeing any true value. I think my ability to incorporate vision to any set of circumstances, I think has become profitable. Like for instance, around the corner there's a building. There's a building that I purchased. It used to be an old kind of, I'll call it shade tree backdoor event space. And so I purchased the building at a nominal price, and the vision for the building became a trap music museum. Now, I'm sure many people rode by that building and had an opportunity to buy it, but they didn't because they didn't see purpose. You know what I'm saying? My vision allowed me to see a purpose that kind of, you know, that increased the value of the building instantaneously because I knew what I could do with it. And I think it's things in that ability that kind of separates me.
So I've been stalking you a little bit for the last couple of weeks.
Okay.
Read up Is it true that you were selling candy in elementary school?
Fourth grade, yeah, I became a candy salesman in fourth grade.
And I also saw that, so your first major album was on an established record label.
LaFace, yeah.
Yeah, and the second one was not. You started your own, right? Is that?
Well, yes and no. So my first album was on LaFace. It didn't receive the attention from the label in the marketing department that it deserved. But what I could ascertain was that the only reason people weren't buying it is because they hadn't heard it. As soon as I put it in someone's hands and they listened to it, they went and bought it. So at that point I said, okay, well, I can't wait on the label or depend on the label to market me and put me in front of as many eyeballs as I need to be successful. So I began to assert myself and, you know, travel from here to the surrounding areas, Augusta, Macon, Athens, Birmingham, South Carolina, Chattanooga, Jacksonville, Tampa, Tallahassee, and really hand to hand in malls, projects, clubs, and passing out, you know, the for promotion only CDs that I got from the label. And then when I ran out of those, I kind of took everybody's favorite songs off of the first album, added a few new songs, and did a mixtape series that I also began to give away for free and sell sometimes, depending on where I was. And in those efforts kind of led to the attention of the label that had not been paying attention to me. And they asked me to work on a second album, and I said no, because it's really what I was doing that got us here. So if you want to continue with the idea, I need $2 million and I need a joint venture. And LA told me I was crazy and got me out. Well, he didn't tell me I was crazy. He said, well, okay, release you. And that was the best thing he could have did for me, because at that time I had already completed my second album. I had the first single from my second album climbing up the charts, gaining more radio play and more exposure every week. And I was a free agent. So then I went and negotiated a $3 million deal for a joint venture about 2-3 weeks later.
But one thing that I read, so this
Okay.
is my way of saying that, is you actually, I mean, you invest in technology ventures, and you invest in technology, but you really focus more on the people as opposed to the technology. Is that
Yeah, I invest in people more than I do in like technology ventures. And you know, Vernell and I have kind of been in alignment and association professionally like 3-4 ventures ago. Like, you know, we've made pivots and kind of reestablished the brand and the purpose for different ventures several times. And I made it very clear to him, hey, listen, if this idea doesn't work and the next one does, I'm in on that too. You know what I mean?
Right.
I believe in Vernell, you know. I don't know which one of these ambitious harebrained schemes. I don't know which one of them is actually going to pop, but I believe that he has the acumen and the intelligence and the vision to start from something, recognize the need or a service that he can implement into an idea and have it materialize. I don't know which one of these it's gonna be, but whatever it is, I'm in.
Yeah, right.
Which then begs the question, Vernell, how did a computer engineering student at Georgia Tech end up working with T.I. Harris? How did you swagger into this like?
Oh man, so when I was creating my first company, Pima, I was struggling to find investment. I was struggling to find which investors would really want to invest in me, because sometimes when you're going to raise money, I had to learn and understand that you're asking someone to take a chance on you as a person, and their comfort and how much they understand about you, and whether they believe they're going to get their money back, and how invested, it determines how much they're willing to invest in you. And so when I was struggling, I got desperate. I need to figure this out by any means. And so I had some really great people at Georgia Tech that were guiding me. Steve Chaddick, Steve Chaddick School of Computer Engineering, wherever Steve are, Steve, he was really influential for me. But there was also John Lanza, who was my lawyers, and they were like, this is about hustling, this is about figuring it out. And so he had already understood, where he was like, all right, well, they aren't giving me what I want. I'm gonna go out here and I'm gonna do it myself. I'm gonna pick up my CDs and I'm gonna go and distro one by one. I hadn't learned that. That wasn't something that I knew. But at the same time, I knew if I could get to someone that understood more than me and that had gotten more than me, I could get an opportunity to do something that no one else could. So I reached out. I think we had a couple of friends that were here at Georgia Tech.
Man, Biscuit walked up to me at the bar with him in tow. Said, hey, you gotta meet my guy. Okay.
That story, listen, and then, but no, be honest, they were like, no. He looked at me, looked me up and down, and was like, who are you? And I literally had to push my way through all the people that were around. I was like, look, I can make $1 billion, you trying to listen or not? And that was,
He said that.
and it was,
$1 billion in the mail.
still coming, y'all.
Postal service.
Still working,
Slow
still
working.
working, still working. Like, oh yeah, I need that. But I needed, my back was against the wall. I didn't see a way out, and I knew that if I had people that understood where I was coming from and the things that I was trying to do, that I would get an opportunity, I would get a chance, and that's all I really wanted was one shot. And
Yeah, well,
now I have.
he talked me into it.
But
All right.
to me, one of the things that we don't do as well as we should, which is why I'm really excited about this event, is Georgia Tech is an abstraction. We're this abstract thing to people. And we have over 100 APS high school kids. I'm really excited. But I mean, this idea of getting exactly.
Frederick Douglass astronaut.
It's one person factor.
That's all right. The most important person in the room, I'll say.
No, but getting people to campus, I think, is a very, very important second step. The first step is we're trying to get out in the communities, but we have so much to offer. Our campus is amazing. Our resources are special, and
Exposure, I feel, is a very big thing.
yeah.
You know, I think that the problems that plague our community, I think that they can kind of all be traced back to 3 voids: the lack of formidable education, the lack of opportunities, and the lack of exposure. If we could be included on, if we could be included on comparable education as our counterparts in other surrounding counties, if we can be included on comparable opportunities as people who look like you and not like us, and if we could be included on exposure to things that basically black people usually don't have enough money to expose themselves to. You know what I'm saying? So we have that, or an alignment with an entity like Georgia Tech that could solve all 3 of those things in one swoop, and I think we have no choice but to advance.
That's wonderful, and I think